I have never actually seen the seas this cobalt blue. And I live here.
We found ourselves 75 miles out into the middle of the ocean, ready to explore the long-lost islands of the Dry Tortugas.
All the feelings that you're making me feel.
Once a massive Civil War fort that took 29 years to build, partnered with an outpost island that is now an abandoned Coast Guard station. This was going to be one of the most epic exploratory adventures we've ever done by boat. And if you haven't seen how we got here, you're missing one of our most highly acclaimed videos. That's episode 1. And this is the finale in episode 2.
I believe in a thing called love, just as tired of my heart. There's a chance we can make it now, when I look into the sun goes down. I believe in a thing called love.
And after an epic morning of high speed on flat seas, finding a meteor crater and a shipwreck, which we cover in episode 1 of this series, we finally find our way to the Dry Tortugas, and specifically Fort Jefferson. I guess it's not too early in the video to begin with a PSA. The Dry Tortugas is a national park, and it has a ton of rules. You may even break some and not even know it. Our recommendation is to just go online. Go to the National Park's website and study the rules. And I guess do your best to just be respectful. It's also important to note that these rules change all the time, and that we are not the Dry Tortugas rules experts. And it's best to do your own research. This is the most secluded subtropical island in the continental U.S. It's truly as rare as it comes. It's beautiful, and it's a national treasure. And right on cue, we, almost break one of those rules. We were close. So, if you come by boat, I guess rule number 1 is, do not infringe upon the seaplane beach area. Stay as close as you can to the public pier. Because these guys do have a way to let you know, well, you might have been close. I wonder why he's beaching it so hard. Maybe somebody doesn't want to get wet.
Hey, I think you could have touched the wing. It was above your head. It looks like you might fit into her gown. Maybe they can do a twofer. Do that.
We just become wedding crashers?
It's Dry Tortugas.
You guys have an open bar?
And if you do arrive by boat, one of the first things you're supposed to do is register and pay the small fee.
Camping fee. Entrance fee.
All right, are you guys legal beagle? You both have your vessels here at Dry Tortugas.
Okay. Right
Empty. You clogged it,
Now we're good for a day. It feels good.
See? It feels good following the rules. Sometimes. Now there's so much history here, I don't even know where to begin. I guess the question, what is Fort Jefferson? Well, it's one of the biggest forts ever built, in the chain of forts that surrounded the continental U.S., from Maine to California. It's not every day that you see a moat in the U.S., and it has fish in it. Now that's pretty cool.
Some massive snappers right here. No, snapper fish.
It took 30 years to build, was never completed, consisted of 16 million bricks and 16 acres, and is the largest brick structure in the Americas. It was used in the Civil War by Union forces and as a prison, the most famous prisoner being Dr. Samuel Mudd, the physician that set the broken leg of John Wilkes Booth. It also says here that the famous USS Maine sailed from Fort Jefferson Harbor in 1898 to Cuba. where it detonated in Havana Harbor just days later, contributing to the start of the Spanish-American War. This is awesome. I love history.
Do you think people die here?
Oh yeah. Well, let's read
Here
it.
we go, look.
Let's read it.
Oh, can you read it to me? Mike reads this now.
1863. During the height
Height
of the Civil War. See, it was a bustling city. Laborers, prisoners.
Going to the visitor center.
Honestly, there are so many things to talk about with Fort Jefferson. We're just not going to cover them all in this video. Instead, I'm going to highlight 3 of my favorite things. And then it's off to that abandoned Coast Guard station called Loggerhead.
Okay, what do you think of the museum?
It's just beautiful.
Very
Very historic.
So my takeaway from this museum is, feels great.
Yeah. Air conditioning.
How do we hook up the fan to our tent?
We don't have AC circuits where we're going, Kelsey. So there's that.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low.
Number 3 on my list of things to see here at Fort Jefferson are the cannons. These things are massive. They really fill your imagination with what it must have been like to be there, to see them fire, to feel them fire, and to smell the gunpowder. Oftentimes on these trips, I do feel we're pretty sheltered and spoiled with what people used to go through. Would we survive one day 100 years ago, or one day in any of the wars that gave us these freedoms that we enjoy today?
Coming for to carry me home.
Now this is interesting. A red-hot cannonball maker. A fireball for, well, pirates. Or whoever else might be out there looking for trouble. The 18th-19th century, that industrial revolution, their innovation is still truly fascinating, even to today's standards. Here's how this works. You drop the cannonball in the top of this oven, and it works its way down and plops out this other side. It comes out red hot, really hot, so hot that when fired into a ship, it'll not only put a hole in it, but it'll also catch it on fire.
I wonder if the name Fireball came from the
Dry Tortugas.
the red hot cannonball Dry Tortugas. Never know.
Fireball.
And my number 2 favorite thing to see here at Fort Jefferson is the lookout. You can see where we'll be camping tonight. That's Loggerhead, 4 miles in the distance, westerly. And again, you definitely want to check the rules. There is no camping on this island at all. So when I say camping, I mean camping on our boats, which were tied off to one of the moorings. And we had permission to be there just that night. Do yourself a favor and go to the back end of the fort, or the west side. It's a little bit more of a walk, but it's worth it.
So you probably don't want to like run laps around up here. And I mean, this is, there isn't really a safety feature here. It is, I would say, 50 feet down. And the water's too shallow to really help you. So be careful.
Should we yell shark to those swimmers?
Shark! Shark! Into the dungeon.
That's pretty cool too. The entire fort sits on a cistern. It collects rainwater, drinking water, a necessity on a place called Dry Tortugas, and before, water bottles. And while there's a lot of cool things to see at Fort Jefferson, my favorite place is the West Side Beach. The water's crystal clear. The view is just fantastic. And it's so hot out here, it's just nice to get in, relax, and cool off.
I had to find one.
Would they?
Might take me a minute.
The runway, you know, and so
I need a small breath.
Or were they?
No, they're bohemians.
But
They
they're.
were mad. I mean, the airport manager, we ended up giving him several $100 because he was so nice to us. We were waiting on the runway, the tarmac for like, I don't know.
What did they think you were waiting
Waiting for
for?
the super.
Just waiting, just to say.
It's your one special
The only
thing.
skill
Yeah, but no-
I can pick things up with my toes.
And after an epic day of travel and a little bit of time to cool off, we were ready for a little bit of an adrenaline dump. Let's get to Loggerhead.
You guys from like, I see Kelsey doing this frog stroke in front of me. She's swimming like a frog.
Oh, sorry, you guys having a romantic moment?
Can't explain all the feelings that you're making me feel. My heart's in overdrive and you're behind the steering wheel. Touching you, touching me, touching you, got you touching me. I believe in a thing called love, just as tired of my heart. There's a chance we can make it now. When we look into the sun goes down, I believe in a thing called love.
It didn't take long. We were there. I think the first game plan was just to explore the island by foot, then get the boats in the mooring and get them ready for camping.
That's a big boy. Big tarpon. What is that?
I think that's a refugee boat.
Go check that out.
Can you imagine just being alone in the ocean and just hoping you hit land somewhere? Oh wait, no, we did that down the entire East Coast, didn't we?
I'm not sure. No, yeah, this one's a 6-cylinder. It's as simple as it gets, you know? This is just this is a homemade boat, you know, with the diesel just kind of stuffed in it.
This channel's not political, but it is about common sense and logic. And it's a fact that there are people and families risking their lives to be here, because our immigration system is a complete disaster. And politicians simply looking to grab somebody's vote are dangling a carrot in front of these people. But between them and that carrot is a deadly crossing for many. I think it's time we vote in 2024 with a priority toward fixing immigration.
It's a big tarpon right there.
Yeah, I guess we qualify. Okay, so there are government entities that still use this island, and as I said before, the rules are constantly changing about it. The lighthouse itself and the surrounding buildings were off limits, but we were able to travel on this path to the backside of the island, or the more westerly point. And we should pay our respects to Mr. William Graves, who was a Coast Guard crewman who lost his life building the pier to this island. He died right here on the beaches, June 6, 1975, just before sunset. He rests in a small cemetery here on the island with 4 others who also died here during World War II. I'm not sure who Wally is, but if you do know this, please comment and keep us informed. Loggerhead is a very small island, but if you like history, there's a ton for you to see and explore. And there's also wildlife. You just have to look for it.
He's fast.
He is cute. Like, that is just so cool.
Need a little PV blaster.
You ever in a group and you're the only one fascinated by something?
What did this work on, you guys? This is history.
Hey, it's part of the coral now.
This is a oh, never mind. I get excited.
That's a pipe from the.
This is a sewer pipe. And I thought it was a piece of I thought it was a cannon. If it was a cannon, we were taking it home on Mikey's boat no matter what. But it was kind of a cannon. Instead of shooting lead, it shot shit. Honey, can you imagine if we had just, you know, brought that cannon home and restored it, put all this work into it, and we found out it was just a shit pipe. It looked like a cannon on a beach, like something out of the Goonies.
Hey, you.
Just saying. Okay, that was really cool. Watching him dig in. Hold on. He doesn't know that Kelsey knows where he's at.
I'm afraid to touch him though. He's gonna.
No, he's fine. Dude, how cute is this guy?
Look at his eyes.
This looks like SpongeBob's. Like, she wants to get me.
She's gonna get you.
Look at her. She's trying to pull. Like, see these? Yeah. See these right
they
here?
Don't do anything.
No, they don't do anything. But she's trying to pull my finger into her claw. I'm gonna get it in a second here. I know it.
I know you're gonna get it.
I'm gonna get it. All right, you guys, this is like a lot of tree huggers are gonna call this harassment, but what we're doing is just educating. This is a crab.
Honestly, if you just took your time and looked around, there are so many things to just, well, experience. And after a quick trip around the entire island at the waterline on the beaches, because it is loggerhead nesting season, and they tend to use the loose, dry sand above the tidal zone, it was time to set up camp before it got too late. And again, there's no camping on Loggerhead, so we camped out on the boats and found permission to stay there on the mooring overnight. There have been a few comments, why do you guys put the stern on the beach instead of the bow, which is most common? And the reason is these boats specifically are tapered back to the stern with a ladder and a nice ramp, making egress in and out of the water a cinch. You can also see we're setting the stern anchor into the wet tidal zone of the beach to not disturb any loggerhead nests. It was time to set up camp, but not before a swim. The water was gin viz clear, and it was so inviting. Or was it? Kelsey jumped in while I was flying the drone. And it was the one time in this trip, if I had to do it over, I would have stopped Kelsey from jumping in, at least at dusk. You see, the drone can see things we can't, and the Dry Tortugas is known for being pretty sharky. But we just got there, hadn't chummed the water, weren't spearfishing or flaying any fish. It seems safe-ish. Plus, I'm sure I would have heard of shark attacks out in the Dry Tortugas if that was a substantial risk, right? Let's see here. A little post-research. What? In 2022, just 2 years ago, there's a shark attack out here where a woman almost lost her foot. I wish I'd known that. And to make things a little bit more real, it happened right here. Like, I mean right here. Off Loggerhead. We are literally tied up off of Little Africa Reef. Now, some might be like, aren't you being a little melodramatic? And statistically, the chances of being attacked by a shark are much less than getting struck by lightning. Yes, I agree, but that comparison isn't quite apples to apples. That comparison includes all humans, to include people that never swim in the ocean. That comparison might be more akin to, well, if you work on a golf course every single day, you might get struck by lightning a little bit more than most. So I guess the lesson is if you are in sharky waters doing things that do risk shark attack, well, pay attention. Try to do the right thing. Kelsey, time to get out of the water. Do you see him? This guy looks like a bull shark to me, but you experts, correct me if I'm wrong. Comment below.
Big boy bull shark over here.
And looking back at it, the timing was all wrong. It was dusk, and Kelsey was splashing a lot with her feet. And while the vast majority of the time a shark will and can ignore that, sometimes they don't. After all, they are fish, like a bass chasing a lure. He was certainly interested in Kelsey, was circling her. What do you think? Was she actually in danger? Would you have asked her to get out of the water too?
He's right there.
So after chasing the sharks with the drone while we were safe and dry, it was time to eat. We were starving. And have you ever had a Bubba burger while camping? Yeah, it's a bucket lister, for sure.
Guys, I don't think you need to overcomplicate things. We don't need a 70-foot Viking out here with a living room and a TV and a kitchen and a galley and... Oh my God, you guys, we can probably get 5 burgers on here.
We might as well cook these other 2.
After traveling and exploring all day, I can't tell you how awesome this dinner was. Great meals are not just about the food. It's about who you're with, where you are, and what you did to get there.
Another Bubba burger on the boat. And right behind you is Loggerhead Island Lighthouse.
Red part at the top. It's a button. Hit it 2 more times and it'll go on low.
Yeah, hit it 2 more times.
Or medium.
Okay, it's turtle season, so everyone's in red. Michael,
Set of sheets.
a set of sheets for you.
Appreciate it.
Here's your pillows.
Is my pillow? You got pillows? Thank you.
I'm a good hostess.
Here's our home.
I'm not a camper.
Anything in our home?
Look at my house. I love it. I hope you guys have enough room to blow up your bathroom.
That was kind of a rough night. How'd you guys do last night?
It was rough.
We lived, I survived it. But I'm ready for my bed.
I think all of us, we can't blame you for that one, Kelsey.
I think anybody who's ever camped knows that feeling. Comment below and tell us your worst camping experience.
So what happened last night is the wind changed direction and it got a lot stronger. When we went to bed, it was like beautifully calm. It was glass and like a half an hour, stars. A half an hour, 45 minutes later, it started blowing up and the wind was coming from this direction and it was bumping these boats together. Oh, none of us slept.
And after our morning coffee, it was so important that we explore these waters. They're so crystal clear, so pristine, and they're protected. So there should be a lot of fish around here. And the Dry Tortugas did not disappoint. These waters hold some of the largest lobster I've ever seen. And some of the largest fish for their species that I've ever seen. Some of the snappers were absolutely gigantic. I'd been to Lou Key, one of Florida's most famous reefs, a lot. And while the fish at Lou Key are colorful and plentiful, the sizes of some of the fish just don't compare. But it is a little creepy to edit a video and see a big fish like this tarpon next to you and realize you never saw it in real life. It makes you wonder. At the end of the day, of course, it's impossible for me to show you how incredible the Dry Tortuga waters are. So I recommend you get out there and try them yourself. Either by seaplane or by boat. It's well worth it. And after an unforgettable last walk on the beach, it was time to say goodbye. Well, that was one of the coolest adventures we've ever done.
We did it.
You know, one of our most popular comments on YouTube is why don't you guys have 1 or 2 million subscribers? The reality is we don't want to be that pushy YouTube channel, asking you to smash the subscribe button every 3 seconds. We're just hoping the content will speak for itself. And be sure to stay tuned for the next series, where Howe2live goes to England to race one of the most iconic race boats in the industry, the Good Boy Vodka Outer Limits 52, Team 25, owned by Rob Lockyer.
With new frontiers, our spirit never swayed. We faced our fears, watched the shadows fade. Our vision's clear, focus is locked on tight. Invincible, you can't knock us. Untouchable, you can't stop us. We chase the stars, gonna reach out till they're in our grasp. Impossible, but it's nothing. Unstoppable, we ain't bluffing. We've come this far and there ain't no way we're backing down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We are untouchable. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We never fade, we never fall. 'Cause we'll be the last one standing. No chance that we'll be crash landing. And we're on fire as they all go down in flames.
And this is Mike and Sarah from Howe2live. Till next time, boat safe, boat happy, over and out.
Ruining for such a beautiful moment with Mother Nature. Oh, look, there's huge tarpon right there.
I was just gonna say, what is that?
This huge tarpon literally right on the other side of that wall. Look at that.
At the end of the day, it's impossible for me. Why can't I talk? La 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 la. What do I want to say? It's impossible for me to show you all the awesome. What the fuck am I trying? It's impossible for me to. At the end of the day, it's impossible for me to. At the end of the day, it's impossible for me to. Show you. Show la 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 la.
Gonna move these mountains.